What's up, guys? So, I've had an interesting couple of days. Actually, an interesting couple of weeks. And I think I start a lot of my videos with that, but right now it's just crazy. I talked to my dad yesterday, and he was like, Virginia, you're in a season of transition. And I'm like, transition into what though? Because this is crazy what I'm going through. However, even in going through so much, I can still find the time to, I guess, continue to observe humanity like I like to do. And you know, just give my observations. I think the more people who sit back and really observe what's going on and then talk about it are actually the people that we need to start to enveloping more, as we realize that none of us have a blueprint to this shit called life. Like, nobody has a secret book that they go through to kind of be like, oh, now that I hit this, what do I go to? And a lot of people will argue different, but I just don't think we have the legitimate, full, laid out, spelled process for everybody. And there's a reason to that, but we'll get into that into, I guess, different videos. However, today's video is on that It Is What It Is series that I started in the last video that I did with you guys, that kind of just accepting who and what you are and how that juxtaposed to society and the world that you live in and what that means on the back end. And I'm definitely using examples from my life and what I've been going through to kind of get to that point. So yeah, it is what it is. So today we're going to talk about the hurt and how that hurt breeds more hurt, but I personally just refuse to engage in it. I just don't want to perpetuate the same BS that's going on. So let's jump into it. I come from a very deadly city. If you've been tracing the series or you know me personally, you kind of know that I love my city, but it's definitely not an easy place to survive in. However, I do now have a smorgasbord of friends, and so I have friends who will agree to that, and I also have friends who are kind of like, what are you talking about? Like, I've had nothing but positivity, and like, this is my home and I love this place. I really believe even in its heyday, a lot of people just came here to do a lot of things that they don't want to do at home. This is what Baltimore is. It's not as bad as the world tries to make it out to be, but it also isn't the peaches and cream that some people have experienced here. I think there's a distinct case of it being a tale of two cities, and it's not necessarily about what you choose to engage in, but it's like, what have your circumstances given you, and what conscious decisions have you made with the circumstances placed before you that keeps it a tale of two cities. Because I think in order for lines to bleed across one another, you individually, as a Baltimorean or as a person, have to make conscious decisions to kind of go across the tracks into a world that you're not familiar with. To, I guess, make it make sense, there are hidden neighborhoods of affluence that kind of sit right behind neighborhoods of desolence, honestly, in this city. A lot of people say it's a block to block type city, and I'm like, yeah, most definitely, because just on the street that I live on, I live currently in a homeowners block. And you can tell everybody cuts their grass, they keep up, they know each other. A block up, though, that's where most of the renters are. A lot of the people who are just moving through life and don't care. That juxtapose kind of makes it to where if I just stayed in my bubble, I could live a whole life where I don't know about the qualms, the trials, the tribulations that somebody just 20 feet from me may be going through. It's just interesting to see as I've grown up in this city. To me, it creates a unique conundrum that fosters, I call it curses. Like the fact that this tale of two cities has been able to exist for as long as it has, I call it a curse. It has to be a curse on this city somehow. And I mean, I believe we can break it. We just got to acknowledge that it's there in order to break it. And so just this ability to kind of float and exist in your bubble perpetuates that tale of two cities. Like if you never really have to consciously step outside of going to school, your household, which is sound, your friends who have sound households, you can achieve the, you know, the higher learning that you want to in your city, just making sure that you stay in the particular good areas. If you never have to choose to deal with the crazy, you'll never choose to deal with the crazy. And the transverse, if you could exist and make what you think is the top of your existence from just scrapping and hustling and struggling all your life, then you'll never try to figure out a smoother path. And never is a harsh word. Something big consciously has to happen for you to choose a less struggly path. I speak from existing and I think, or being able to bleed in and out of both of these kind of existence in this world, in this city. And I realized that a lot of the ability to bleed in and out comes from just the conscious decisions that I make. It comes from when I had an opportunity to do something that may have been scary or out of my norm, I took it. The transverse, I've definitely pissed away opportunities because I chose to be that which I am so familiar with, or that which I know. And so it's like, oh, I didn't want y'all to see my damn lipstick on my coffee cup. And again, just being aware and present of those moments is why I am saying it's about the conscious decisions that you make in the moment, right then and there, in order to really create the life that you want to live. It stems from how you pay attention or engage in these opportunities, right? Because on both sides, in my opinion, in the beauty of the city that I live in, it gives you every day an opportunity to be shitty or be better. Like literally every freaking day. Like every freaking day. Just yesterday, I'll share my personal example about how I kind of realized this and was like, oh shit, let me share this epiphany with people. I feel like yesterday I kind of experienced both realms of it, and if I did not stand strong on my mantra or my life of, or self-fulfilling prophecy of being better than that which came before me, first and foremost, and then being more positive as a woman who can nurture all life or give life to all life, nurturing all life as I move forward. I definitely felt this yesterday. My desired outcome for my life is definitely what I'm trying to have. And my desired outcome is peace, love, and tranquility with some good food sprinkled throughout the madness. Like, that's all I am trying to achieve. Peace, love, and tranquility. I mean, I might be asking for too much. It's cool, but I don't think I'm asking for more than I can achieve for myself. So let's talk about what made me kind of realize this. There's been a recent death in Baltimore, and this death literally through like 3 to 4 degrees of separation has probably touched every human in this city, especially if you're from this city. And I mean like legitly from the city, like from the city where there are only some things that you had to have been here to experience type shit, right? But the death of this person, I guess, overlapped in my life more than I really gave it credit for when I first heard about it. When I first heard about it, I was like, dang, I went to high school with him. Like, the vague memories that I had, yo was cool. Like, he ain't mean no harm to nobody. However, he did joke people all the time. Like, that's all I really remembered from this person. And so at work, talking to some of my friends who don't experience or haven't experienced the life that I have, they looking at me like, well, why do you care? And I'm like, because it's kind of close to home. And I can get why they're like, why do you care? Whatever. Come to find out, although I can't claim to know this person, my brother and his mentor, who I call my elder, his mentor, know him directly through basketball. And so it's like, dang, it only took 1 degree of separation outside of going to high school with this guy, 1 degree of separation to see the real impacts of his death. So I'm never one to jump on the prayers to your family, condolences, oh, I'm mourning because this guy was cool. I don't jump on that bandwagon, because at the end of the day, I gotta be real, he wasn't a part of my everyday. He was somebody who I saw on social media. So the impact only hurts me through how much it hurts my brother and his elder. So I just shared the post like, look, this city is too small for somebody to not know what happened. We need to talk about it. At bare minimum, just talk about it. So my elder, my brother's mentor, jumped on my post and was like, I know his dad. It's kind of sad. Like, that's crazy. And yesterday, through my light, I had to try to find words to be like, to not hold up that hood bullshit that I understand and have lived through and see, and for me personally see a purpose in, right? And to not condemn him as being an elder and not seeing things the way that I did. I had to find the words to, I guess, express the hurt that I feel like a lot of people in my social location are going through with his death, and still respect where this elder is coming from, of like, why is this happening? His disbelief of this is crazy. He literally said, one of my pet peeves of hearing about my city, this city is sad. It's just sad and there's no hope. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? So what I said to him in so many words was, you're talking about the pain in this city that we don't consciously choose to engage in or deal with. And as long as we choose to turn a blind eye on it, it will continuously breed itself, foster itself, and continue to bleed out in the ways that it do. We have to be more aware and cognizant of what we do that impacts that hurt. The person who murdered this guy's family, and every friend or every person who is kind of connected to it is hurting right now. We got to acknowledge that, and we got to figure out what to do in order to handle that. Consciously, the first step is to talk about it out loud and be very truthful and honest. This isn't, in my opinion, one of those don't snitch type scenarios, right? Like, nobody chose in that scenario the consequences that they got. So therefore, everybody needs to live with the consequences. Somebody needs to tell who killed this boy. And then somebody needs to, or we all need to envelop and support his family with love, because his life is not in vain. And that's how we show it. So I don't know. That's kind of what I gave to him. He didn't respond. And I know my elder, whenever he didn't respond, it means I gave him some words to really chew on. We'll talk about it later on a private DM. But then, going through the rest of my day, let's fast forward to that afternoon, where I felt like that was an example from the oblivion side of the city that we live in. And then I don't want to walk around and make it seem like I'm 100% healed, because I still realize that there are small things that can happen to me that'll make me really turn into the exorcist. Like, once you see that head cocked to the side, it's like somebody put all the sharp objects up. We don't know what she's about to do. And I own that. I'm still in that space right now. So let's fast forward to the afternoon where at Panera, a young lady, I guess she was just having a bad day. And it happens. We all go to work. Shit, I do these videos on Thursdays to try to prevent having bad days when I go to work. So I get it. She was probably having just a bad day. It was lunch shift. I get it. Shit be rough. And I completely get it. Shit be big rough. especially when you work in food. However, Shorty didn't have to treat me the way that she did, essentially. And the hurt that still exists in me felt challenged, right? I felt like, oh, worry. She mad at me because she hate her job. I'm just here to patronize so she can continue to have a job. Let's teach this little girl the respect that she's looking for. So the hurt in my head, because it literally was just all hurt and pain that wanted to give back hurt and pain that I was receiving, right? I had my bag in my hand for my pastries, because if you ever go to Panera, you know, and I did a rapid order, and that's kind of where the issue came up. But if you know Panera give you your pastries up there, and you will be standing there with a bag and a cup of coffee waiting for food to come out, right? Like, so I was like, let me clear my hands so she can get them. These hands, that is. I go to the car, put the stuff down. My sister-in-law, my brother's wife, she goes, everything all right? Yup. And I go back out. She's been in the family long enough when that crazy starts to rush over me. But I needed that moment, right? That moment of putting the bags in the car to come back to be like, oh, Shorty got me fucked up, right? To be like, no, you got yourself fucked up because you've grown beyond needing to fight with a young lady whose $10 an hour job she needs, and thus she's frustrated by needing it, and whatever the fuck else that leads to in her life. You don't know her life. You don't know that girl. More importantly, you got shit to lose, Regina. Like, you are literally en route to do something that will help transform and catapult your family in the realm that you want to. Like, what are you doing? What? To like get into a verbal altercation that will escalate into a physical altercation because you have the foresight of seeing this? What is it for, girl? If you don't sit your dumb ass down. Literally having this conversation with myself as I'm walking back from the car. Because I walked to the car and what I call my T-star. Oh, she about this. She don't know. This bitch letting this fuck her up. I ultimately decided to calm down. I walked back into the store with a smile on my face. I grabbed my food and I walked out. We headed to get my sister test done. To which she passed. Shout out, sis. So proud of you. Keep moving. Keep going. Keep growing. Because we got this. We up next, fam. And then, the highlight of my day, I was able to have a snowball date with my babies. My niece and my nephew. Like, literally, had I not been aware, present, and conscious in that moment that my hurt, right, was going to allow me to overreact in a situation, I would have pissed away the rest of the goodness of that day. My sister-in-law wouldn't have had the model that she needed to pass the test that she needed. I damn sure wouldn't have seen my niece and my nephew. My little ass might have been in jail, or at least held up long enough to where she would have missed her test. And just a cascade of bullshit, all because of the decisions that I made out of hurt and pain and whatever. It only takes a moment, yo. A moment of grace and kindness. Had the murderer had a moment of clarity, right, before they pulled the trigger. And when I heard the example, like I heard the stories that have been running, and it's like, for what I've heard, it's not worth it. Like, literally, it was not worth what you went through, yo. Your hurt will subside if you go and pour yourself into something that makes you happy. Immediately thereafter, you would not need it to have been vindicated in that way. I don't get it, y'all. From being in the shoes of the murderer, right, when I was at Panera, right, because I could have escalated a situation bigger than what it needed to be. Why, yo? Grace. I need to keep my mission statement in the forefront of my mind. That's it, y'all. And I literally implore everybody, if you don't have a mission statement for your life, take the fucking time, however long it takes, to write that shit down. Even if your mission statement is, I don't want to be X. And motherfuckers start running towards it. Do you. Do what you gotta do. But don't. Goddamn. If I can leave you with anything from this damn video, don't be so stuck in your oblivion or your hurt to not acknowledge that there are other people living on the other side of the fucking tracks from you. I feel like my happiness made her upset. My ability to handle a calmly handle a situation that she was frustrated by made her upset. Baby, I've been you. I've been there. I get it. Where I think that you're projecting your shit onto me, that makes my shit worse. Look, goddamn it, even in that moment, I was her, right? I was her. Felt disrespected all my life, so ain't nobody gonna disrespect me. Who this little girl thinks she is? Like, why? And I get, because a part of my, I guess, mission, right? It feels like it's always combated with this new societal, I guess, norm of live fast, die young, and don't give a fuck about who you burn in an instance. And it's like, no. Did we forget that karma still exists? I mean, it's cool if we did. I'm alright with that. But like, karma is a bitch, and I'm telling you, she bite, and that bite is hard, and it gets infected fast. And if you keep fucking with that bitch named karma, she gonna get you. She gonna get you every time. Every goddamn time. I've never outrun karma. I can outrun a lot of shit, even with my bad knees. I cannot outrun karma, yo. I just can't. So why is this a part of the It Is What It Is series? Because you gotta stand steady on your strength, on your abilities, on what's right for you. You gotta know who and what you are in order to be like, no, I'm not going to be X, Y, and Z, no matter how much you may want me to be. I am really resolved to spread love, to be more way, to walk away from the dummies who do dumb shit and to not be a dummy doing the dumb shit in situations. Again, it takes nothing from you to walk away from something. It takes nothing from you to be better because you know how to do better. Nothing. But you'd be surprised what it gives you. You'd be surprised what it brings to you. God, I've been surprised by the obstacles that I've transcended as of late and the opportunities that have opened up themselves to me. So I don't know. This is a little longer than I probably wanted it to be, but I just wanted to kind of focus my day. Focus my message, and then stay dedicated to this series of It Is What It Is, because I'm not going to be, excuse me, but it felt good. I'm not going to be any more than what I am capable of being, and I'm not going to be any less than what my circumstances ask for me to be. And that's just legitimately it. So, yeah. I'm going to walk through this world constantly making conscious decisions about what should happen. I'm not going to let the freeze frame moment, that moment of, oh, did that shit really happen? I'm not going to let those moments keep passing me by without me respecting what they do. They give you clarity. So I afford you some clarity from you hearing the fuckery of my day. So as I go back to getting ready for work, as always, family, I leave you with light. Yeah, it's been a dark time here, but light always shines through the darkness. And that statement keeps coming back to me. People keep saying it to me in passing. They don't realize how much it means to me. So that's why I always start off with giving y'all some light. Because you gonna get through this shit. We all do. We always do. Nobody makes it out this thing alive. So just do it the best way you can. So I give you light. I give you life because, goddamn, again, ain't got no blueprint to this. I'm just here. If you found me, I'm just here to give you a smile and grace to let you know you're not alone and we can get through this. So I give you life because you give me life. But more importantly, guys, I leave you with all the love that I can muster in this little compound packed body to you because you give it to me. So have a good one.